If there was one thing I would say that helps a small business owner be successful is outsource what you don't like to do. Outsource. If you don't like doing receipts and filing, outsource it to somebody. Pay somebody to go in and take care of those things every week for you. I outsource my accounting. I pay somebody to do my accounting and to do my payroll for me. I have a lot of moving parts all the time, and I know that I don't like to do that. So in the health of the business is also doing your paperwork. And a lot of people are really good at the art or the actual thing that they're doing, but they're not good at, say, the business side of it. And so it's okay to outsource it. Give yourself that permission to say, I'll pay for it because it's not in my wheelhouse to do. I don't like it. Everything in business is a little bit of gambling. I think educated gambling with research and, smart ideas. But I think you just have to kind of go with your intuition as a woman and really listen to it. Listen to your intuition. Take the breaks when you need to take the breaks and don't feel guilty about it. And also don't make an apology for the price of your business, because you have to be able to make a living and you have to be able to provide a service. And when things go up, like right now, food's going up, everything is costing more. So then I have to raise my prices. And I haven't had a single complaint, from local about that, because I think I just have such a good following of people that understand like what our whole point is, is to provide fresh food. So there's CDFIs and there's native CDFIs. They are a community development financial institution fund that are generated funds in the state that help Native entrepreneurs looking for business capital, but your interest rates might be a little bit higher, but the barrier to entry is lower. So versus going to your traditional bank or your credit union, I think CDFIs, especially native CDFIs, if you're a native-owned business, really cater their services to a new entrepreneur. They also usually require you to go through a certain amount of classes, like financial literacy, budget spending, taxes. Usually they offer all of these classes for free, and they help you educate yourself on smart spending, starting your business. So if I had it to do again, I would go the same route that I did, which would be to write for small business grants, because there's small business grants all over the country. In this state specifically, the Indian Equity Grant is a huge opportunity. A lot of paperwork, but totally worth it if you take the time. You cannot do that application in a night. And I mean, that takes months of planning that you need to really think about your budgets, and they're going to look at your information and make sure that you have, that you kind of know what you're talking about. So that is probably one of the best resources, I think, locally, is a CDFI, a native CDFI. Get yourself a circle of women who support you no matter what. And it doesn't have to be native, but it sure helps. It sure helps to have native like-minded women in your corner who may not necessarily do the same line of work you do, but can understand the high-level stresses that you go through. Because if you have a circle to lean on when you're having a hard time, it makes it feel less daunting. It makes it feel like you're, if I'm having a struggle and I go to my friend and I say, this is happening right now, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And she says, oh, that happened to me 2 months ago, and this is what I did. It's like you have somewhere to go with that stress, and maybe they'll have a suggestion for you, or maybe they'll just be a good ear for you to vent, and then you'll figure it out on your own. I think a lot of us women feel like we have to problem solve everything by ourselves. And we take that on, and sometimes it's just speaking about the problem out loud to somebody else. And you figure it out as you're speaking it, like, this is the problem I'm having. And then as you're saying it out loud to your friend or to your, business partners, it's like the solution comes out. We're connected that way. And I believe in that fully as a Native woman, that, the things you speak out into the universe, like the universe answers back. The things that you pay attention to are paying attention back to you. And I think that's another thing that really helps me be successful, is like surrounding myself with people that understand the business. You're like having mentors or like other business owners, not necessarily Native, but like people who you can ask questions about. So before I started the business, I was going around doing market research all over Billings and looking at prices of soups and salads and sandwiches all over. And I would stop in at these small restaurants and just ask them questions like, are you the business owner? And most of the time, I never got told, I'm not going to give you any information. They were the business owners, the small business owner community. They were like, how can I help you? You're not necessarily competing with me because we're 2 hours away from each other. But if you ever need, help finding a producer or finding somebody who, provides a service, let me know. Or if you're having issues with supply, oh my God, we had such a huge issue with supply chain when pandemic hit. I was making a lot of trips to Billings, like to Costco and Sam's, and just buying up in bulk, just trying to stay in front of it. So have routines built into your life that help you work out stressful things. Have a group of women that supports you. And this doesn't necessarily mean your own direct family. Sometimes your own direct family is so scared of you not being successful that they're going to try to talk you out of your ideas. And that's not necessarily because they don't love you. It's because they're scared for you, right? Their fear is like overwhelming your ability to create, to build, to do something different. Small business is a risk. And so you really need to find like-minded people who are going to help you along the way. Doing your market research, making sure you really understand what you're trying to sell, looking at pricing of other people that are in the same industry, who your competitors are. We're unique in that there's no other fresh food place in probably 60 miles from us that does what we do specifically. There's places that offer salads and soups and sandwiches, absolutely. But most of those soups are out of a frozen bag that they've reheated. And you can taste the difference in that. Not that they're bad soups or anything, but our soup is our number one seller. And we usually are sold out by 1 o'clock. So we open at 11. By 1 o'clock, if I have 3 soups up and they're sold out, like that's, I think, a huge indicator of the quality and the flavor and like what we're doing with our soups. Look at all your avenues. Use all your free marketing first. Get a website. Set up all of your, have a business email. Don't use your personal email for business. Have a whole separate setup of, shop of tools that's set to your business so that you can separate business from personal life and, market yourself that way. And also people like other people that want to see a professional website. They want to see an email that's professionally set up to the business. They want to see business cards. Those things are important. Yes, they cost money, but they're important. You got to have that for your business if you want to be viewed as a professional business.